Will there ever be another boy who lives in Christmas Town? There will never be another boy who lives to be alive. There will be a boy in Christmas Town. There will be a boy and he is a boy in Christmas Town.
And thank you, Andrew, for that lovely rendition of The Boy in Christmas Time. So was that a Christmas Carol?
It was a boy in Christmas Town.
No, but was that...
It was like a
Tell me, what was that?
That?
Because the way you were singing it was like it was a sort of... It felt like you do this every year.
Yeah, but with intensity. It's kind of a Christmas Carol for it's too much intensity. For
so the boy in Christmas Town.
Imagine the carolers knock.
Yeah.
Answer the door.
Hello.
I don't know what kind of melody that is. It's not quite carol-y. It's definitely got some cheer to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a celebration.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone listening
carol-y.
to you sing The Boy from Christmas Town thinking...
Felt Christmassy.
What, more is like, oh, we're already singing The Boy from Christmas Town. It's only November.
It's only November and he's whipping out The Boy for Christmas Town.
Have you seen all the controversy about the John Lewis Marks and Spencer's ad?
Right, no. It's one of those things I used to be really interested in. Now I see headlines that are like, the M&S Christmas ad is... it happens every fucking year.
Yeah.
I'm bored of them.
So they must have been... Well...
Did you see it?
No, I didn't actually see it, but Sam, who works at Marks and Spencer, was telling us about how there's been a lot of meetings at Marks and Spencer about the backlash. But it's the most ridiculous thing. They took the advert down because three Christmas hats above a fireplace fall into the fire, and they are the three colours of the Palestinian flag. And people, I mean, that's just bad luck, surely. And they thought it was like a veiled anti-Palestine.
Oh my God. Can they not just like change the colours of the hats in post?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah. I know you could.
I'll change it to blue and white.
Yeah.
That'd be great if they're like, done. Oh, shit.
And then to blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fucking nightmare. And obviously an accident. But it's tough.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it was about this year. All the John Lewis one. I didn't know the Marks and Spencer's ad was like a big deal. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah, they all are. The John Lewis one is meant to be the GOAT, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you a big Marks and Spencer's head?
No.
No.
Do I look like a Marks and Spencer's head? Look at what I look like, a pumpkin. Do you think I'm shopping for food or clothes in Marks and Spencer's? No, I don't think
I've seen a Marks and Spencer's style shop anywhere else in the world. It fits a weird niche. Like, what is the Marks and Spencer? It's not really a supermarket.
How would one differentiate Marks and Spencer's to Waitrose?
Waitrose is a posh supermarket.
But Marks and Spencer's is a posh supermarket.
Not really.
Oh, Marks and Sparks?
No, it's posh, but it's more like, it's sort of a mid-range. It's sort of like a...
Is it a mid-range?
It's like an express.
Have I been duped by the adverts?
No, not mid-range as in expense and poshness, but it sort of fulfills a much more on-the-go... You know, Waitrose, you're getting...
You go there for fun.
You can get a lot of stuff there. Marks and Spencer's, it's quite focused on sort of luxury treats. Yeah,
but is that just the advert? Because you can buy...
Like, I don't know if anyone's getting their weekly shop from Marks and Spencer's.
I think people are. You can buy, like, cheese there.
You can definitely buy cheese.
Yeah.
But it's more
you can buy bread.
There's arguably no...
That's your weekly shop, isn't it?
Cheese and bread.
Cheese and bread.
I guess so. To me, it just doesn't feel like a... I wouldn't slink around Marks and Spencer's...
Is that what you do when you buy a weekly shop? You slink around Tesco?
Well, the weekly shop, as I've said, is one of the more bleak parts of any... Which I'm glad you don't have to do in the modern world anymore.
What, as in get it in?
Well, planning your weekly shop, I find that chore one of the more soul-destroying ones.
I suppose so.
You don't have to agree. You don't have to humour me.
I'm such a people pleaser.
You're a doormat, Andrew.
What do I like? Just let people walk all over me. Actually, no, I like doing a weekly shop. No, I mostly agree. However, the prospect of like, what you're going to have for dinner does kind of fill me with somewhat excitement.
But what am I going to have for dinner in 5 days' time?
Well, though, it was quite easy. I've got my little food recipe tab, and I'll have a little scroll, and I'll be like, "Oh, do you want the pork or do you want the chicken?"
Yeah,
and that's somewhat exciting.
So it excites you.
It doesn't make me hard, if that's what you're getting at. I see you.
I'm glad you got that, because I thought I'd have to do another one to put it, but you got it first time.
No, it doesn't make me erect. There's no sexual feelings towards the Weekly Shop. But Mark's, I remember going there. It was in Hayward Heath Industrial Park. And you'd have to go in. The only time I'd go in there is because you had to go through there to get to the other shops, such as Argos, where I'd frequently be going to buy like a video game.
Would you ever end up buying something as you walked through Marks and Spencer's, or did they never?
No, I was like,
none of their stuff appealed to you.
I was like 10.
Yeah.
And Dad wouldn't let me buy anything.
Yeah.
He said, "We're not Marks and Spencer's people.
We're not Marks and Spencer's family. What
We're
family
Morrisons."
were? You're Morrisons.
No,
you are a Morrisons family.
Well, that's wrong.
Well, you are.
Well, don't tell me.
You are.
What do you mean we're a
That's
fucking
who you
Morrisons
are.
family?
That's who
You're
you
a
are.
fucking Marks and Spencer's family.
Nah.
Yeah, you are.
Nah.
Yeah, you are.
Wouldn't be seen dead there. No,
What do you mean we're a Morrisons family? I don't mind Morrisons.
Well,
Morrisons Cafe.
I've never heard anyone. Yeah, I've never heard anyone.
Because I went to Morrisons Cafe.
No, and you get Morrisons hot. You know.
I get Morrisons delivery hot because it's.
I go to Morrisons. You probably no one's spoken more about
Don't
Morrisons.
talk about my family like
okay,
that.
I guess I shouldn't speak about the girls.
No, but when I was like growing up, were we what makes a Morrisons family be a Morrisons family?
Low IQ.
Low IQ, kind of a hint of incest, poor taste in food, a weird love of sausages. Well, the Morrisons Cafe.
Mine is sub 60 IQ, I think.
Sub 60 IQ. I never know what a good IQ is, by the way. So when people...
if you're sub 60 IQ, that's you can't live independently. So like really thick is like 80, 90.
Yeah.
So 60 is you have retardation
kind
of the brain.
Because then if all my family have 60 IQ, then technically we're not living independently. We're all just trying to muck in together. It's not going very well, but we are living by ourselves. No, but I think IQ. Well, because people, when you read stuff like, with this IQ, so that I might read something that's like with a something IQ, and I don't know if that means they're a genius or an idiot.
Well, there's those free kick compilations
which makes me feel like an idiot.
You feel like sub 60 IQ.
I feel like sub 60. I don't even know if that's a good score. There's something about not knowing what the score of IQ means, which is another level of stupid. It feels another level of stupid.
I mean, it's funny if you were bragging to a girl and you didn't know what a good IQ was.
Under 60, yeah.
No, you're like, I got 58 IQ. You think it's out of 60?
Yeah. Whilst I'm chewing on the napkin.
No, have you seen those videos on TikTok with the 200 plus IQ free kicks?
Yes.
You see this stuff?
Yeah.
So Einstein had, I think, 150 IQ.
Right.
So
these free kicks.
This 200. This is like,
but the curve
this is never seen before level.
Ball.
And the IQ actually would never be just a knuckleball. It would be like one person runs over the ball pretending to shoot.
Yeah. And then
another one does it. And then one passes it instead of shooting.
And then
the other one scoops it and someone's done a run. That is 200 IQ.
Yeah. If there's more than 3 phases to the 3 kick, it's a genius
Einstein
IQ.
would be like, he just doesn't even know how that.
He's already shot where one guy runs over the ball.
He's 160 IQ.
I never thought of that. But I'd like to go back to what makes my family a Morrisons family. And I'm not necessarily taking offence.
No, because you are taking offence, but I thought there's no one who's spoken more about Morrisons. I don't really know about Morrisons. The only way I know about Morrisons is you. You're the only one. You're a big Morrisons stan.
You stan Morrisons. That's just not true.
But that's not. You're imbuing a snobbery.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Don't imbue.
I'm absolutely not.
Don't imbue me with snobbery.
The only thing I'll imbue.
My life's hard enough.
I know it's difficult. I know it's been tough.
so
I take
don't have
back
to deal
the
with you imbuing me.
I'm not going to imbue you anymore. But what I will say is thus. I have not spoken about Morrisons that much. Now, let me speak for a second before you put those eyebrows on your face. What I spoke about Morrisons recently, because you started to... Don't drink like that. You can't gulp like that whilst I'm talking about Morrisons. Recently, you expressed a desire to start getting your
I was looking for a change in my supermarket outlet.
Your groceries delivered. And I said the best one you can do for delivery is delivery Morrisons Hop.
I was like, shut up about
Morrisons. And I'll tell you the last time I spoke about Morrisons was at university when I had a period of going frequently to the Morrisons Cafe.
A lot.
Now, a lot?
You talked about it a lot.
Because the Morrisons Cafe is actually the best cafe on earth. You could go and get
your Morrison's is in my head. If I see Morrison's, I think of you. If I see budgets, I think of you.
If I see dog shit, I think of you. What about that? If you see budgets, you think of me.
Wait. So talk me through you seeing dog shit.
I'm walking down the road.
Okay.
I'm walking down the road and listening to music. I've got somewhere to be, and then in the corner of my eye, or like I guess the top of my eye, in a way. You know when you spot dog shit and you're like, oh, I should avoid that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how Rachel's doing.
I should call him.
I should call him. I probably just left you for that. I don't know how he's doing. Because you just have the qualities of dog shit. Dog crap. Crap. Might start using crap instead of poop.
Yeah.
Crap's quite funny.
Yeah, I think poop, we do need to put that on the shelf.
Well, we have epochs of words that we use. I can't remember what it was before.
An epoch's like an era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we get obsessed with words for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Poop's been going for a year now. And poop came up was what happened in this room.
You know, in like American sports,
we didn't poop in.
You know, when they retire jerseys and they put them in the rafters.
I didn't understand a word.
You know, in American sports when they retire jerseys in the rafters. That's what we should do with words.
Poop, and it would just be like poop and gay.
Well, gay has not been retired.
It has.
Gay is a long-serving career
in some ways,
which has had many. You know, you think he's down
many iterations.
Yeah, you think he's gone down for the count, and he comes back out of nowhere. When you're obsessed with Latvia, fish. Yeah, that was an early epoch.
That was real, like problem child. The kind of obsessive. It was nature.
Like an outlet from divorce, wasn't it? Which I didn't realise at the time. I
guess so, but it's like it wasn't far off a tick.
Yeah.
Just
it was really neurodivergent of you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Just the continual use of the Latvia, fish, and Pete. I don't know. So weird. Because Pete came from Pete Sampras. Yeah. I don't know why. I like tennis, not that much. I've never seen, I don't watch reruns of Pete Sampras playing.
You said that you'd love to meet a fishmonger from Latvia called Pete.
Yeah, that would be like eventually, because if I didn't say that, I'd look even more fucking insane. Like, why does this guy keep saying the same fucking things all the time? I don't know. I didn't know why. Well, Latvia, why?
He's from a Morrison's family.
Yeah, he's it's pretty Morrison's family, actually. Go to the cafe on a Sunday. No, it was an odd period.
Yeah.
I don't really.
This is like 12 to 14, probably 12 to 15.
That's 3 years of solid usage. But I'd always thought.
Then you started shagging.
Then I started getting girls, and it was pussy and tits and cum. Yeah. No, I never.
Oh yeah, forget about Latvia, Pete, fish.
Knee deep.
I'm into pussy and tits.
God. But I always thought I'd have a continual, like, obsessive. There was a point, I think, in year 10 where I was like, I'm never going to be able to get these words out of my head. There was kind of an obsessive nature to it.
Yeah.
You took the time really serious then, like I was, like we suddenly went into therapy. Like, yeah, no, you should talk about that.
I think it was Charlie Rose.
Yeah, right, yeah. But no, they seem to have gone. They haven't really been replaced by anything.
Well, poo.
No, but that's more like the Latvia Pete fish scenario was kind of a continual affair. It was in my head. Like, you would hear it. I only say poop with you.
Yeah, really?
A few friends. A few close allies. Every now and again. But it doesn't, like, go over in my head.
No.
I'll just say it because it's kind of fun. Whereas the Latvia fish Pete situation, which is going to sound insane.
Yeah.
But it would... You had no idea how much it was going on in my head. It would go on more. I'd have to taper it off.
So I only saw the tip of the iceberg.
You only saw the tip, man.
Below it was this
huge mountain of.
I guess you never know what people are going through.
Yeah, and if that's how I dealt with the divorce. Latvia fish, Pete. Latvia fish. Don't let the think. Don't think. Latvia fish, Pete. Yeah, I'm not really sure where that fucking came from.
You know, I did an IQ test.
Where?
Did I tell you about this?
I'm kind of jealous of this.
Well, you can use my app because I thought I even paid like a monthly thing. It was like £2 a month because I wanted a game for. I still can't find a good game for the Tube that doesn't need Wi-Fi.
What's wrong with your rat on various transportation devices?
That's fair. That's literally. I've got four different
rats.
Rat on a snowboard, rat on a jet ski, rat on a skateboard, and rat on a scooter.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing for me because every time you get fucking recognised on the tube, you're playing that, and that just reflects badly on me. But this fucking...
Chasing after the cheese.
Oh, whoops. Oh, more cheese, please. Watch out for the trees.
Well, yeah, I've done all the challenges on that, and I've got 3 stars.
You've completed all of the rats on transportation.
Not only have I completed it, I've got 3-star in everything apart from like 6 or 7, which I then now every tube journey I try and crack the 6 and 7, but they're so hard, and I'm just basically I've reached my skill limit. I can't beat them, so instead I'm fading at these levels, and it really bums me out
because you want.
And if you've got a half an hour tube journey, if I'm failing for half an hour, that's not fun.
It doesn't set you up well for the destination.
No, it doesn't. So I thought, okay, well, I need something to do with my hands, or else I go insane.
So you thought, let's do IQ tests.
So I wanted, like, okay, maybe I can get smarter while I'm playing a game. Imagine that, combining the two. Growth, yeah.
Well, shut the rat.
So I got this thing because the advert for it made it look a lot of fun. But on it they had
brain training.
Yeah, and on it they had like a 20-minute IQ test.
Those surely are fucking frauds.
I have no idea what an
brain training bullshit.
I have no idea what an IQ test is. Yeah. I've never done one. I don't know where people do them. Yeah. So I don't know what to compare it to. But it was 60 questions, which was all.
I thought you were going to say 60 then. I was like, you've just set yourself up. Like the results were 60. Like, no, then that makes sense.
It was 60 questions that were all to do with like pattern recognition.
Yeah, that was a lot of that.
Which is like, okay, so is that intelligence? Is pattern recognition?
Surely, I guess it's a flawed thing. It's one of those, what is intelligence?
Like obesity.
If school is like, if you've got a duck, a monkey, and an ant, and you get them to climb a tree.
I got street smarts.
Yeah, don't teach me maths because I want to know my taxes.
Shut up. You don't as well.
You don't. It's such a bad move.
You'll learn your taxes later.
100%.
You're not learning integers later.
They're not. 100% of the people that are public about wanting schools to stop teaching maths and start teaching taxes are all spoken word artists.
Yeah.
What does that say about it?
That spoken word is exclusively for the sub 60 IQs.
It really is. I'm glad that trend has stopped. I haven't heard that for a while. Maybe because there's bigger problems.
Word, but
no, I don't mean spoken word. I mean the stop teaching maths, start teaching tax.
Yeah, that has gone down a lot.
Yeah. Who cares about Pythagoras' theorem? And I need to know what national insurance is.
Shut up.
Stop. If we just teach you about national insurance, you're going to be a fucking moron.
And school would... You're talking about, like, because you feel disaffected from school, the idea that you're going to be enthralled as you learn just the most boring aspects.
Well, it's not necessarily just about entertainment.
Lives.
It's about like knowing how to manage life. Well, sure, you can introduce that a bit more into school, but then if you stop teaching kids maths, then it's going to mean that they can't. With many more subjects other than maths, but it's mean they're not going to be able to achieve anything else.
Yeah, I got back to my IQ test though.
We moved on.
I got 129. On this test,
100. That sounds suspiciously close to Einstein.
It was close.
I don't. Okay, throw it out.
So they rate. Basically, I was one off the top. It was like there's 6 parts.
Yeah,
there's 6 sections.
So it's flawed.
And 130 upwards is like special. And
you think you're one off special?
I don't think that.
This app did.
I think I'm 60 IQ.
This tube app did.
I think I'm thick. I think I have nothing important to say, but this app...
Oh, don't. No.
Thank you.
No.
No, I really am stupid. But this app...
Desperately... What's the app called? Make me feel better.
It's called Make Me Feel Better.
Make me feel better. Lie to me. Lie to I. I lied to me, forget it. Would I lie to me?
You should do it. You'll be good at it. It's 20 minutes.
I actually into some brain teasers recently.
Oh, yeah?
Well, quickly on the brain...
Give me one. Give me a brain teaser.
Not those kind of brain teasers. I can't give it to you. No, just on the brain training very quickly. Surely that's bollocks. I mean, it might make you smarter. It might like remind you to do some things every now and again.
No, it is bollocks.
Bollocks. That's bollocks.
I guess with the IQ thing, it is probably not a good way of measuring IQ. It's probably as good as obesity.
Right, you're going to have to be... Right, okay.
You know how like Dwayne The Rock Johnson...
Do you mean BMI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is bad, but then also if you're obese...
More like bad measuring indicator.
That's good. That's fucking incredible. What, are you annoyed that you haven't been recognised more?
That's just it, isn't it? That's all life is. You get a quick little burst of endorphins from that, and then as soon as it came, it goes.
Yeah. So you're happy for
Anyway,
you were sad again.
Yeah. back to normal. On you go.
I guess what I'd say about BMI, though it's a bad way of testing fatness, if you are obese via BMI, you're probably fat.
Yeah.
And so
I think there's a few exceptions like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. So if you're got low IQ on this app, you probably are dumb. Do you know what I mean? It's not a good way. It shouldn't be official. We shouldn't split people off into groups.
Probability.
We shouldn't
we shouldn't do it as a be all end all.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the absolute.
We shouldn't
truth.
exterminate everyone who's under 80 IQ so that we get it flush kind of the unintelligence out of society.
We shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't
do that.
cull parts of
Based
society
on this
based on IQ and BMI. We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Not saying we would.
Not ruling anything out, but we shouldn't do that. That seems like the wrong way to go.
Right.
But just based on the lack of quality of the measurements.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the policy.
I'm not even saying IQ is an official IQ test. I'm saying this 20-minute pattern recognition.
20 minutes. I feel like proper
So you go
IQ.
into a room and then there's two doors.
Should we?
One door, you fall down an endless well. Just
right. Yeah, that's fair. Should we go and get IQ tests? Because I feel like
official ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll be quite. I feel like we could talk about it.
Well, it'd be good to because there's all those dumb websites where it's like all the president's IQs. So how do you know? And Trump came out top on one of them. I was like,
that's quite suspicious.
When do you do an IQ test?
Well, they probably. I feel like.
Or do they IQ test the president? That's how they pick who the president is.
Is there anything in the Constitution that says the president can't be below 60 IQ?
I think that's the fourth one. It's the Fourth Amendment. After Howard came in, it was just like, there's nothing there. He can't be by himself. Shops at Morrison's.
How's he going to run the country? No, the brain teasers I've been doing. I know. Well, do you remember the Nintendo DS?
I do.
My dad actually messaged me.
Do you remember the Nintendo 3DS?
I do.
What was going on there?
What was going on there?
Do you know what I mean?
No. I feel like
I never got one, but what was the dream being sold to you?
Was it 3D?
No.
Was it just like that? It was no,
it was sold that it was 3D. That was
and it just wasn't.
Well, what do you mean 3D?
Yeah. Well, I feel like Nintendo do weird things. Okay.
Whoa, okay.
Here we go.
Because they're Japanese.
Right? And I don't get them. They look weird to me. I don't understand them. No, that's a joke. What Nintendo came out with before I was allowed a PlayStation, so that's a kind of context to this.
Yeah.
But I had a Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
And then eventually a Wii.
Which was the DS was great. The DS. I don't want to sound like we're knocking DS because it's unbelievable.
You don't even know where I'm going with this. The DS and the Wii are the best things I've ever had.
Yeah.
The Wii is categorically the best thing I've ever had.
Wii Sports Resort.
Wii Sports Resort with the golf. I used to, when I was writing my dissertation, I used to play 18 holes every day. When I finished the dissertation work, I'd go and do 18 holes of golf and pretend. This is quite sad. I pretend.
Who do you pretend to be?
I pretended to be me, but a professional golfer.
Okay.
And then I'd be in like a major tournament, and then I would say how much, like what scores the other players got before I started my round, so I had something to beat.
What do you mean to say? Make up?
I'd write down.
You'd make up, or
I'd make it up, yeah.
Oh, and then would you keep it?
And then I'd keep, so a major, there's 4 rounds, and I'd try and beat them over 4 rounds, and I'd already say what it was. It just kind of kept the days going.
Yeah.
So the Wii, love the Wii, love the DS. The DS is because I wasn't allowed a dog or a PlayStation.
So you got Nintendo.
So I got a Nintendo DS with Nintendogs on it, and boy did I take care of those fuckers. But there was also other good stuff. But there was brain training on there as well. That was the kind of point.
But the Nintendo, the fact that it feels like they've got gaming at a more sophisticated idea of what gaming should be than Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
There's a purer arcadey love of actual games.
There's a nerdiness, whereas the PlayStation's like an oafiness.
Yeah. Well, the Nintendo, it's like, it's a game. PlayStation's like,
it's a lifestyle.
You're a soldier.
Captain.
It's trying to make you actually, take you away. But Nintendo, it's like, that's what games should be.
We'll get to the brain teasers.
Yeah.
But with that, because That's the thing I just wrote down. Isn't that weird, actually, how that
Call-
came up? Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So a new one came out, and it's the one that I was obsessed with. Remember what I said was the best game
Modern
ever?
Warfare 1.
Yeah. So it's Modern Warfare 3, which is kind of a hark. It's basically
It's a hark back.
It's a hark back. I think that was their tagline. It's a hark back to Modern Warfare 1. There's like, and it's got the same like characters. It's from the same storyline. So there's one game I'm like, shit, Daddy needs. But also,
Well, Daddy should get.
Well, Daddy can't get because Daddy can't fork out £60 for this new fucking game.
Is it PS4? But it's PS4, PS5.
What does that mean?
Or is it both?
It's on both. Yeah. I'm not buying the PlayStation 5 for this game. But no, because I don't like. You have to pay nowadays. Back in the good old days, you didn't have to pay for an online subscription. You just got it, and it's like £100 a year to get that. So you can't even play online. So
There's a feeling that everything sucks now.
It does. Everything sucks.
Everything sucks.
Well, there was a 50%. They did a survey. I don't know who. Don't ask me. Someone did a survey.
Yeah.
That's come out recently, where it was about parents for kids, I think around the ages of 15, 16, and 50% of them believe that their children are addicted to gaming.
Yeah.
Which I get.
But everything sucks. Like watching, trying to watch live football. Now, it used to be you'd pay one subscription to watch half the games. Now, you have to pay 4 different subscriptions to watch the same amount of games.
Yeah.
And they just split them up.
Well,
it just feels like everything's just getting worse.
Well, Sky, it was kind of almost a rare instance where a monopoly is a good thing, because Sky used to have it, and then BT came out, and they're not BT anymore, are they? They're something.
They're
silly.
TNT,
Why
and
change
you can
it?
only watch TNT on Discovery Plus. So they've gone from in one fell swoop. They've gone from BT.
They fell swooped it.
They've once
one big old one.
Massive fell swoop.
Yeah.
They went from BT Sport, and they're like, all right, we're not BT Sport anymore. We're TNT Sport.
TNT.
And then you're like, okay, you're TNT, and they're like, no, we're not TNT. We're Discovery Plus.
Right.
So they changed to two different things.
Discovery Plus is a streaming thing.
But TNT's.
But isn't like Discovery Plus is available on Amazon? So I'm pretty sure you can buy a Discovery Plus subscription, I think, on Amazon.
Yeah, but not
on
the sports
a different
package.
One. So now you get a channel that's now changed it to a different channel that's only available on one streaming platform that's only available on another streaming platform. And you end up buying like 20,000 things.
Monopolize media. We need Murdoch back.
Murdoch back.
That's when Murdoch was good.
Back.
Sky Sports was Murdoch's
when Sky
greatest
was
achievement.
everything, and you could do everything.
It just seems better. And then also Netflix.
Yeah.
So I heard someone say something interesting that. So Netflix, the birth of Netflix was when TV was sort of at its best, like House of Cards, that sort of era, and it seemed like streaming. This is great.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I can just watch on-demand movies,
Click. Yep.
movies and television programs on demand.
Movie films.
But then I think their business model was, we don't have this money. It's all projected, and now it's all crashing down. So what they've done is destroyed old TV that had a sustainable business model on this sort of Fire Festival streaming model. And now we pay for loads of streamers, and none of them actually can afford long term to produce good TV.
Yeah.
Does that work?
It kind of tracks. I mean, I think they just also make terrible decisions. I think particularly with Netflix, it's like they had a few hits, and they're trying to do a very specific. They kind of, all of their new stuff conforms to a very specific structure. It's all the same kind of thing, other than a few that they might take a bit of a risk on. But they don't, because it's when you've got these companies, they're even worse than TV channels. You've got these massive companies that won't want to take risks with content. But then if you don't take any risks, you're not going to make any good content. So that's why every Netflix series looks the fucking same. It's
crazy.
And it's the same sleek aesthetic. It's the same storyline. Because I watch, like Wednesday, that's a good example of the same kind of thing. That was, I want everyone to rewatch it. It was awful.
I haven't watched it to begin with. So
I watched it because
twice.
Watch it twice. No, you'll know it's awful from the start. Everyone went, Wednesday nuts. It's shocking.
Really?
It is like, it's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
It's boring as heck.
The acting is awful.
Yeah. Jenny Ortega?
Not Ortega's. She's great. Guilty.
I saw you practicing the dance.
But it's just like you and it's with these kind of Netflix series, you get off it when you finish an episode or you finish the series. You get the same feeling that you have when you scroll on TikTok for too long.
Yeah.
There's nothing at the end of it. You don't go.
It's which you should be.
You should go be like.
Yeah.
Like with good TV.
Yeah.
At the end you go.
Yeah.
Well, you feel like you've wasted your time.
Back to existence.
Back to life again. Looking at the ceiling.
Were you watching the Robbie doc?
No, but I will be.
It's the same as the Beckham doc, basically. I mean, they've tried something slightly you but I guess you have to, these documentaries are so boring the way they're made, you just have to try and focus on what they're saying or the story. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's
Which is sad.
I think it's a combination of our attention spans being shot to fuck, and the same old boring content that just keeps on coming out to try and get our attention.
Yeah.
So it's just like two goats butting each other in the head.
Yeah.
It's a goat fight. I've said it's a goat fight.
It's a goat fight.
It's a fight of goats.
But so we're paying for more for less stuff. That's what's kind of weird.
I don't think that's true.
Well, Netflix is more expensive and they're producing less content.
Yeah,
and then you also have to have Disney, Amazon Plus.
But obviously, it's not just about the content. It's not just Netflix originals.
Yeah, but now it's spread over.
What does that mean?
Well, it used to just be Netflix.
Like Jam.
Well, now you have to have Sony stream platforms just to watch.
Yeah. To be fair, well, Sky, but back in the day, what was Sky? Sky, you're probably knocking out £50 a month for with the full package.
So,
The full thing. So it's actually not that. It's not that different.
Felt like quite the Manly Dad Sports package, the Sky Sports package. That was a real.
Yeah. Every
dad
I'm a dad.
I'm a man. I've got a Sky Sports package.
They wouldn't have like the Discovery Channel, but they'd have Eurosport. Yeah. That was when you knew you were in a man's house, when they'd have like the skiing on instead of the 10 o'clock news. That's when you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Lad pads. Fucking den. Yeah, no, just on I've been doing more brain games, not for the purpose of training my brain, just for the purpose of filling the time.
Yeah.
But
counting off the days.
Like, Wordle. Obviously, we all know Wordle. Yeah. That was a fake. But there's a new one called like Connections, which is quite fun.
What is it?
You have to do. There's a grid of, I guess 16? 16 words, and then you have to put them, like, they'll all have, 4 of them will have a connection to each other, and then you have to put them in the connection categories.
How much, is that fun?
Yeah.
Do you like that? Does it tease your brain?
I guess so.
Does it tease your brain?
How much can you like anything in this world?
Does it tease your brain?
It teases it. It tickles it.
But it's not a brain roast.
Better than Wordle.
It's not a Comedy Central roast of your brain.
No, my brain isn't on fire after playing the New York Times Connections game. But I have now found myself, like, in the morning logging on to the New York Times and doing my little word games, spelling games.
The big topic of the day, the man of the hour, to be honest.
Yeah.
The boy gone wild of the week.
The boy gone wild of the week. He's back.
Davey C. He's back.
David Cameron's back. So for those of you not in the country, that's good, because we wouldn't have thought about that. David Cameron used to be our Prime Minister. He then in his manifesto,
in his infinite wisdom,
said. In his manifesto, one of his election promises was that he would put a Brexit to a referendum, basically, which is what caused the start of Brexit. He calls a referendum, then campaigned for Remain, then leave one, so then he left.
What's interesting about the Brexit thing is often with these big historical moments, there's sort of an inevitability about them.
Yeah,
like it was bubbling up in the culture, and this would have happened anyway.
Yeah.
World War I, was it because Franz Ferdinand got shot? It was probably going to happen anyway. Brexit, I bet it wouldn't have happened. I really think it was only David Cameron that would have made it happen.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think it was inevitability. I think it was a bit fringe.
Yeah.
And then the campaign that the Brexit campaign won changed the...
Well, that's because everyone David Cameron's also austerity measures and stuff.
Austerity and stuff. And also the funny thing about David Cameron is the reason he put that Brexit campaign in is because he overestimated Ed Miliband. Right. Ed Miliband, the Labour leader at the time, is sweet guy, but like the biggest cuck you can imagine,
He lost because he ate a bacon sandwich.
Famously, he ate a bacon sandwich.
Yeah.
And he's an unfortunate looking
gentleman.
gentleman.
He's like a fucking hero. People have gone Miliband.
Miller crazy.
Ed
Miller bitches.
Yeah.
But he was never gonna beat Cameron, but they got scared for a second because I think some of the polling, and then he was like, "Well, I'll throw this in just to give support."
Yeah,
it fucked everything. It was his fault.
I don't think you can say it's his fault. I think it's actually a bit mental to say it's his
fault.
fault.
Is this your spicy take?
This is kind of my spicy take on it, because I'm like, yeah, sure, he called it, but then in reality, he's only calling more democracy. Basically, if you say it's his fault, it's like, we can't be trusted to vote for things, which is there is truth in that, of course. Like,
I think so.
Great, but I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, but if
you're basically because I blame, and I blame the Leave campaign far more because of the deception that happened within their what do you call it? Within their campaigning.
Yeah.
That basically lied to people that then caused Brexit. I mean, calling for a democratic referendum for me is like, it's not fucking crazy. I don't hate the guy for it.
That's interesting. Well, but I guess. So you're saying more democracy can't be a bad thing?
No, but well, that's the kind of thing.
But I think you have to be like, we believe in democracy, but we can't be that democratic because people have sub 60 IQ.
But that's people the thing, because I know you'd say that, and that's fair, and that's why it's a fair argument. And I in some ways agree with that argument. But then all the people I'm seeing say that, I'm like, you're not going to call people stupid. You're too left wing and too wanting to say everyone's a genius.
Yeah, like, everyone's beautiful.
Everyone's beautiful. Everyone's a genius, and that's it. No one has responsibility. That's it. Yeah. You'll never say that people are thick. So therefore, you can't blame Cameron.
Yeah.
He just called the fucker. Then the British public did the rest. We've got this from here, Cameron. But like for me, it's bad. But I cannot blame him for it. I think it was a rash move to put it in, sure, but it's like, well, we can only blame ourselves, the British public, and the Leave campaign.
I guess also we have to remember how no one thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It really was like, it was a clear...
But then there was clearly an appetite for it in many places of the country. And I think a lot of people who are obviously saying that it was his fault for doing this will be Remain voters. There was at the time a lot of people who wanted to leave. And that's also saying that these people are fucking stupid and shouldn't be able to get a say. It's democracy. Sometimes you have shit decisions.
I feel sometimes with referendums it's a little bit weighted towards
a referendum hot take.
The changes that you'd need. So like the referendum voting to change, it's more weighted towards you because like the Scottish referendum, they're calling for another one, right? Yeah. And they had one 10 years ago. But technically they're going to win one referendum if we keep having referendums. And when you get that referendum, they're not going to have referendums to go back.
You said referendum too many times for me to understand.
If we keep having referendums over Scotland, they will vote to be independent, right?
Yeah.
But you won't have a referendum.
This is Horatio Gould's law of referendums.
You could call this Horatio Gould's law of referendums. You won't have referendums.
I forgot the word for referendum then for a second.
Law of referendi.
Yeah. Referendus.
Yeah. Scotland won't have referendums to go back into the UK once they've left.
Yeah.
So if you look at it as a probability thing, it's heavily weighted towards...
Why?
Because you can have endless referendums till you leave, but you won't have any referendums to go back in, right?
Yeah, I mean, time.
So like, we had the EU referendum in the 90s, did we?
Something like that.
To stay in.
Or to go in.
No, that was 70s.
That was the 70s.
And then we had one to check. We still wanted to be in the 90s, I think.
Yeah. So you're saying because you can do more than one to get out.
I just think it's something that we had to remember with referendum, that you have to be very responsible with when you choose to do a referendum, because it's like, at that one moment,
but the interesting
point, leave people, but now everyone wants to remain. But that's
the point. So what's the response?
And we can't vote to go back in.
Yeah, but
then your view of democracy let's vote to go back in.
Let me respond, because that's the thing. What opportune moments don't exist, because what you're saying, in your eyes, the opportune moment would be to call it when everyone wants to stay. That's weighted to a certain outcome.
Yeah, but then you have a responsibility saying that overall look at the country over a long period.
You can't predict the future, because you said that like now everyone wants, it's swung back to Remain, but that's only because of the consequences of Brexit, which you can't predict the future.
It's a tricky one, because I understand what you're saying about it's like wanting more democracy doesn't seem like a bad thing, but then more democracy would be voted let's have a vote to go back into
I wasn't saying
that's technically democracy.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying more democracy everywhere is a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that at the time, it was a pretty bold time to call it, sure, but I don't blame David Cameron. I think it's kooky.
Well, you think it's like a quirk of his?
I think it's a quirky, kooky thing to blame Cameron.
Oh, I thought you said it's a quirky, kooky thing that he did it.
It is. It's pretty quirky. Like, whoops, lol.
Like, it's an interesting... Oh, you're so mysterious, Cameron.
Why now?
Who's this David?
I don't know. It felt like, No, I think it's pretty kooky to blame him, because I think, like, he called a referendum.
Yeah.
And then campaigned to Remain.
Yeah.
What, like...
That's definitely not
the
point.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
because I think if you do blame Cameron, then you've got to the only fair way to blame him is say the majority of the country are idiots, are thickos, and shouldn't be allowed to vote. Both. If you're saying thickos, then like fair enough, your logic tracks. That's fine. A bit like you. A bit like you. I get it. But there's a lot of people going, this fucking bastard.
Everyone's beautiful and intelligent.
Ruined the world. Yeah. It's like, no, you can't hold both of those things. They don't track. They don't track. You either believe half the country's covered in mud and it's David Cameron's fault, or you believe that everyone has got a bit of logic behind them, and it's not his fault.
Were you excited to see him back? Like, it was a bit of a thrill. Yeah. It was exciting to see Davey C back in the chair.
Yeah, because the last time I've seen him,
he's been out.
He's been in festival tents smoking cigs and doing dances. That's the last time I saw him.
Yeah,
I wasn't there, but I saw a picture of him.
Yeah,
and then. No, it was.
He left his daughter at a pub.
He did leave his daughter at a pub.
Which is incredible.
There's a picture of him on the stairs sifting through posts.
Which is weirdly intimate. Maybe the most intimate I've ever seen a Prime Minister.
Why is he sifting through the posts on stairs?
Yeah, so David Cameron live there. David Cameron's at the bottom of a stairwell in like an apartment complex, and he's going through
so much post.
He's going through a lot of posts, and then some very gobby young person.
It's David Cameron!
And then he looks up terrified, but also trying to maintain a smile in case, because he knows he's on camera.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for David Cameron in that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you shouldn't be allowed to do that to an ex-Prime Minister.
Well, if maybe you should, if an ex-Prime Minister is sitting on a stairwell sifting through mounds of post inexplicably.
Wait, so if it's not his post...
It's okay. If it's not his post, absolutely. If it is his post, I still think...
Do you think it was the Panama Papers he was... Yeah. That's how they got caught.
Jesus Christ. It's clearly not his... Right, let's actually dive into this. It's clearly not... Have a look at the... You just type in David Cameron post stairs. It will
and Panama Papers as well.
And Panama Papers as well. If you want to make your Google search more difficult. So he's at the stairwell sifting through the post. It's like... Now... It must be his post.
Yeah.
I'm going to presume David Cameron doesn't have a need to sift through other people's posts. I don't know, but I doubt it.
He did look a bit guilty.
He did look guilty. I can't, but surely it's his post. Okay, well, we can go down the road that it was in his post.
Till the cows come home.
Till the cows come home. But for now, the cows are in. They're in their pen, they're home, they're safe and sound. So, David Cameron, we presume it's his post, right? He might live in a apartment building, right?
Nah. But I guess his London flat could be.
Because
he lives in Whitby.
This is giving him the benefit of the doubt. Because most likely...
This is serving cunt.
Yeah. What?
Sorry.
This is serving cunt. Like, this is serving.
Do you know what serving cunt is? Have you not heard this? We will come back to that. Carry on with what you're saying, but I'll explain. Remind me what serving cunt is.
Like
serving cunt is like a variation on slay queen.
Yeah,
it's sort of like yas queen, but now you serve cunt.
I presumed it was
David serving cunt.
David serving cunt, but it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose he is.
Sorry.
No. It's fair. I just need to kind of bring the serving cunt into the thing.
He was serving cunt.
He was serving cunt, right? I guess that's the end of it. So we have to presume that right. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here that it's one of his like London flats. It's a flat share, right? So he's going to check his post. The post would not have been just strewn on the floor like that.
He's strewn it himself.
He's gone to his mailbox and he's picked up all of this post and he's decided to sift through it in the stairwell.
Yeah.
Why?
Interesting.
It has to be his house because we're presuming he's not going through other people's posts.
I'll tell you what. Do you want to hear my theorem?
Yes. Can I just wrap up my theorem?
Okay.
So when you say that the gentleman went down quite aggressively, and it was a lady. The lady went down quite aggressively, and they shouldn't,
it's David Cameron,
and they shouldn't be subject to. I think that's in the matter of public interest.
Okay.
Why is our ex-PM sifting through posts on a stairwell?
Yeah.
There's a story there.
So you're allowed to do that.
It's in the domain of public interest.
Fine.
What are you doing? Because why? There's two questions that if I was a journalist, I'd ask. One, firstly, is that your post? Then we'd kind of get to the story from there. And secondly, I'm like, why aren't you sifting through this in your apartment?
So,
and I think that one would be a tough one to answer.
My theorem is that he has either a flat share thing or like an expensive style short-term apartment in London.
Where they drop the post on the floor?
No, where he has certain posts that comes to that flat, right? And that's built up because he's not been there because he doesn't really like London, I think. He likes living in Oxfordshire. He likes going for walks. He likes leaving his daughter at pubs. He likes smoking cigs.
That part of your theory can be very readily incorporated into my theory.
Yeah, okay. And
build up a post
I think that maybe he doesn't even have the keys to that flat anymore, or someone else is using that flat, and he just is there to collect his post, so he doesn't want to disturb that flat or even go into that flat because he's only there for the post.
Right,
that's my theorem.
So he didn't even maybe it's like it's an asset rather than he actually lives there. So he's gone in there,
probably. He's
sifting through on the stairwell to see if there's anything important that he needs. There you go.
I think that's it. And I think there was a lot. I think he was probably sifting through a lot of like Domino's sort of 2 for 1.
Well, I don't know.
He's cutting out coupons.
And he was probably trying to be quick just in case any loudmouths came down.
So he threw on the floor. He thought for a second, God, no one's going to come down
here. In fairness, if I was living in a flat share or a flat building, an apartment block, and I walked downstairs and saw David Cameron shifting through posts, I'd say something.
What would you say?
I'd say,
would you film it?
I'd go, you're David Cameron.
You wouldn't film it.
You'd film it silently.
You'd take a photo. I
wouldn't take a photo because I wouldn't. Taking a photo. Think about the mechanisms of that. How are you going to take? You can't take a photo from behind because people are going to go, "That's not David Cameron. Prove it, you fucking liar." What I do is get my phone out, whack the video on, walk past with it on my hip, and as I'm going past, just get a sly angle of David Cameron sifting through his post.
Yeah, I'd set up my camera and I go, Dave. And then take it as soon as he looks up because I want to see his face.
Like a burst.
Dave! Yeah, because you'd get him just that perfect shot.
So I feel like we might have spent too much time about that one video of him sifting through posts. That's not what the story is.
This is not what's relevant. He's back.
David Cameron's back.
There's a David Cameron in the bathroom. I just thought you ought to know. That'd be great. That's how they spotted him. There was a journalist ran out. There's a David Cameron in Downing Street. I just thought you ought to know.
He's back.
So what does that mean?
He's now, for people that don't know, he's been out of the scene. Post PM, he's an MP. He's still an MP, I think.
Yeah, it's a dramatic comeback because it's really unexpected because it felt like he was set up to be a real, like, I don't know, icon of post-war British politics. Yeah, basically. And
Conservatives' answer to Blair.
Yeah, and he had 2 terms. He could have easily got elected for a third, but the Brexit just fucked his...
terms?
Yeah, he got elected twice, but halfway into his... right at the beginning of his second term.
Can he have 3?
Yeah, Blair had 3. Yeah, there's no limit.
There's no limit.
No limit. It's only in America.
That always surprises me.
Yeah.
Feels like you shouldn't. Anyway.
I don't think anyone's actually completed their third term because every time they've been either kicked out or left. Yeah. And so it is a real... He very much feels like he has an unfinished career.
Yeah.
And it went in a very unexpected way from his trajectory, which was always golden set boy. For like... He was a golden boy who ticked every... He was gold.
Yeah. The one thing I can't get out of my head is that because the most...
Golden balls.
Golden balls. The most significant thing, like, effect that political cartoonists have had on me is that I can't look at him and not think of a condom.
Because his...
He looks like a condom.
What was the political cartoon of him?
I was just saying they would consistently draw him as a condom.
Did he have anything to do with condoms?
He looks like one. He looks like a condom. It's just as simple as that. He looks like a condom.
He looks like a piggy. He looks like
No, he doesn't look... He
looks like a piggy.
He had sex with a pig.
It doesn't mean he can't look like a piggy. I'm not getting those confused.
No, I think you are.
No. He's got rosy cheeks.
You don't become a pig if you fuck him. I know.
No, I'm not making that leap. I'm saying it's coincidence or causation, maybe correlation. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I look like one, so might as well.
Well, you're attracted to things that look similar to you.
That's not really how it works.
Naturally, you find yourself attracted to people who look relatively similar to you. Will often be. No, that is just across the board.
I'm talking about
you.
Talking about different races.
No, well, yeah, across the board.
Well, it's like, well, traditionally,
If I was Jordan Peters, I'd be, look at the data.
That's the thing. It's a crazy story. It's a horrible thing. We all want to fuck each other. And we want to fuck ourselves. And it's awful. It's just awful.
It's true.
But it's true. We must be better remember that.
And David Cameron sees the little piggy. And says that looks like... That reminds me of my mum.
Well, yeah, mum, I was going to say.
It reminds me of my aunt in that weird thing where I saw in that slip and it sort of turned me on.
Yeah. Slip?
I don't know, like a nightie. Are they called a slip?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Arms
and slip.
I hate to use the word slip. That really freaked me out. Like particularly your family, your mum. Everyone wants to fuck the mum. Yeah, I want to fuck your mum. And it goes from there. I guess it's more if his mum looks like a piggy pig. But then I guess if his mum looked like a piggy, then his mum probably looks a bit like a pig. But the main thing is he's a rosy cheeked boy, but he's a condom looking fella.
Yeah.
He looks like a condom. He looks a bit like oh god, it's too niche a reference, but in the episode of Rick and Morty where they go to couples counselling, Beth and Thingy, and they get turned into the monsters that are like a kind of accurate reflection of themselves, and Jerry gets turned into a worm. He looks like that worm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which in turn looks like a condom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So that's our coverage of Cameron. So he's come back.
And do you feel Cameron...
He's come back and he's now our foreign secretary.
Does Cameron sort of walk and talk like he's better looking than... do you feel like he should be better looking than he is?
Yeah.
There's like a thing where you're like... Why are you... It's kind of... You should be good looking, but you're not. Do you know what I mean?
Those are two different sentences.
There's like a thing... You look at him and you're like, this is... You're kind of acting like you're
acts like he's got to provide. He's got the charisma of a better looking man.
But then he's got the hair. It's all right, but he's not.
Yeah, but he's got. I think that's why people were tipping him to be the next big British Prime Minister, because he looks. Technically, he should be good looking, but he's got that English hue.
Yeah,
like where everything's just a bit like saggy and blown up. He looks a bit like he's been inflated a little too long.
Yeah.
Like if you put, it looks like every public appearance, he lies down and someone puts an air pump in his mouth and just goes one stamp and he's got
little kissy mouth as well.
He goes like that, and then just the rest of the appearance is like that.
So what's interesting having him back is it was a big move by Rishi. I think it was a bit of a Hail Mary, but it's interesting to see, because now you see him, he looks more prime ministerial than Rishi. Because he's taller, and there's that photo of him with tiny old Rish.
Yeah.
And David has more political sort of esteem than
I think
Rishi
that's why he's brought him back, because
someone said he's the second most powerful person in the country now, and technically, well, I guess the Chancellor is.
Define power, but kind of the Home Secretary maybe as well. Definitely one of the most important roles, but I think that's kind of why he's done it, because since Cameron, who was after Cameron?
Theresa May.
There you go. So Cameron is kind of one of the last. Cameron's the last prime minister who served a full term.
Fuck yeah!
How long ago was that? Then we had Theresa May.
2016.
Theresa May, then Boris, then Liz, and now Rishi.
Liz.
Yeah. So that's all Conservative fucking turmoil. So when you think of Cameron, you think a bit more about stability. You think a bit more about a normal kind of politics since. You think about normal politics pre-COVID, pre-Trump, pre-Boris, where everything seems to have exploded and gone mental a bit. Yeah. Bringing Cameron back is a bit like, do you remember that stability we used to have? We're going to get it back.
Well, it was that thing when there was like a weird relief when Jeremy Hunt became Chancellor after Kwasi Kwarteng and all of that, where it's like, we all hated Jeremy Hunt, but it was like just someone who's not literally suicidally insane.
Kwasi Kwarteng was on LBC this morning.
Was he? What was he saying?
He was talking about David Cameron, and he was moderately criticising Suella.
Kwasi, how about you stay quiet for a bit?
Yeah, how about you keep your nut out, pal? Has it been a year? Has it been a year?
Yeah. It's about that.
Oh, it kind of,
maybe.
Kind of ruins the point.
Oh, sorry. No.
But it's like, Jesus, what's he doing? Yeah. He's coming on criticising.
Yeah.
You fucked it all. He fucked it all.
No one's fucked him hard.
It was astonishing listening to him. I was like, is he... Because he was like, well, obviously we had a pretty tough time of it. I was like, you clusterfucked
You should
everything.
go on I'm a Celeb. You shouldn't be doing LBC opinion.
You were literally part of the most embarrassing prime ministerial stint that will ever happen.
Of all time.
We should do that as well.
Farage. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh, you get your money's worth.
a comedian, shout out Alex Keeley, has quite a funny bit about the observation that Liz Truss has to now come to every Remembrance Sunday. Yeah. Because she's technically an ex-prime minister. And she was in power for 44 days. Okay. So it'll only take 45 years before she's now been to more Remembrance Sundays as an ex-prime minister than she was in office.
Oh my goodness.
How embarrassing that you have to keep rocking up. She's going to be there forever. Because whenever any state occasion, you get all the prime ministers, and it's just as long as they're alive. Liz Truss is going to be there forever. That's humiliating.
So
I would ask
I feel so sorry for her.
I would ask for an honourable discharge from being an ex-prime minister. I'd be like, can we just
do it, though?
Quietly? Can we just say like, I clearly wasn't a prime minister.
You can't do it.
That's just
it's so
sitting there.
Well,
between your predecessor and successor, just like this is humiliating.
It's also that it will go down in history because she'll always be remembered, one, for the colossal fuck up, obviously, but she was the prime minister when the Queen died.
Yeah, she was. And listen, do you remember Joe Biden? I swear to God, Joe Biden didn't know who she was. When he got out of the car and when he saw Liz Truss, it was literally like he had no idea who she was.
Or startled.
He had no idea.
He's not the best.
Yeah,
he's not the best vessel.
And also because the prime minister had just been changing so much, you can understand how you
and he doesn't. He finds it difficult to identify different shapes. Yeah. Rather than put a fucking face to a name, no chance. But yeah, no, I feel really bad for her.
Yeah.
I feel deeply sorry for her. Like that is a woman who has done everything to get to this point in her career.
Yeah.
She gets the chance. She takes it with all aplomb.
Yeah.
And like just imagine.
It was a bold plan to be fair to her.
But just imagine. So it's not just the plan. So it's like this is all of her life has been leading up to that. Because there was like the videos we were discussing the videos when it came out of her when she was like, I think she was maybe like 16 on the Liberal Democrats thing.
This is a life
her
ambition.
Her whole ambition in life is to be PM.
Yeah.
She got there and she just couldn't have done a worse job.
Literally couldn't have done a worse job.
Staying like, even if you all of these politicians, their dream is to be PM.
Yeah.
Everyone, the vast majority, I know recent history is kind of going against this, but the vast majority, you're at least going to get a year in.
Yeah.
Big months. She had a matter of
44 days.
It's 44 days.
44 days.
And she's out. And now it's just like, imagine your dream of years and years and years waiting to get there, and it's over. It begins and it's over in 45 days. And now, as you allude to, you're going to stay in politics.
Yeah.
But you can't. There's no upward trajectory now. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't put her on anything.
Yeah.
I don't think any particularly. So the Labour's going to win this election.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen in the election after that? When the Tories get back in, there's not going to be a cabinet seat for her. No one is, because everyone's going to.
You don't want to trust her with
anything. The Tories are going to want to forget. They want to forget everything.
The branding,
the branding of it. Liz Truss is the face of that branding. Yeah. So there won't even be a place for Rishi. It will be forget all of that. This is a new Conservative.
Maybe Rishi. I think Rishi.
But no, new Conservative. I know he won't. He won't. New Conservative. Depending how it goes. Well, he was kind of a good chancellor.
I think people would view him positively.
So one, she's got that against her that they're going to want to rebrand as New Tories, and two, you can't the cheese lady that fucked the economy. What is she? What position
Liz
she's going to
Truss's
hold?
prime ministerial career is sort of like you somehow manage to fuck your dream woman, or you get her back into the bedroom, and you come in the condom.
No, you don't even come in the when you put it on.
You're putting it on,
right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was going to say,
you've been waiting for this. This is this is like an actress you saw growing up, and somehow you've met her in a bar
just by chance. You meet her in a bar,
and this is.
And you go back to her.
Have you got a condom? Yeah, I do. Yeah. And then you put it on, and it just.
There's been no foreplay. You're already ready. You just. And then she makes you leave. That's all we got time for.
And then you have to keep seeing her every Remembrance Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the Patreon.
Bye.